Hi everyone, it's Aaron here from Life Excel. How are we all doing? Just on the way to the office. Let's have a very productive day. Hi guys, welcome back to Life Extra Large's YouTube channel. It's Aaron here. I've just made my way into the office. It's a bit of a gloomy day, but the topic of the day is the science to getting rich. Now, over the course of my career, I've spoken to over, I'd say 200, 250 super successful and wealthy entrepreneurs. We hear these terms thrown around a lot: billions, millions, and trillions. You know, the fact of the matter is, these terms, they strike fear into people to think that they could be earning such vast amount of money. Now, when you think of moguls such as Jeff Bezos or Warren Buffett, you know, these people worth absolutely trillions. Is it true that we can get there? Is it true that we can genuinely work hard and make our way to a billionaire? Was it hard work? Was it luck? Were they handed something? Who knows, but let's cover it. So first, let's cover the commonalities of the rich. Have you ever watched a YouTube video or maybe a podcast that was on a successful person? Isn't it strange that they all tend to say the same things, near enough? Maybe you've listened to Warren Buffett, maybe you've listened to Grant Cardone, maybe you've listened to Jeff Bezos. They will near enough say the same things. You could take somebody that's based in the UK, somebody that's based in America, somebody that's based in Philippines, and somebody that's based in Africa. Completely different languages, completely different cultures, yet they will all be saying the same things. Isn't that just a clue? Are they hinting at a universal roadmap to success that doesn't speak any language? It doesn't discriminate. As long as you apply those principles, you can get there. Is this true? Let's take a deeper look. One of the themes that we constantly see here at Life Excel is how very successful multimillionaires and billionaires have built up the wealth over 10, 15 years. They've gone bankrupt, they've lost it all, then they've applied the principles again and built the wealth completely up. Isn't that profound? There's a saying that I heard that has stuck with me ever since. If we divided all the money in the world and distributed it amongst everybody equally, it would just be a matter of time until the rich got rich again and the poor got poor again. This quote suggests that in just a matter of time, the rich will be rich again by applying the same principles that they applied to get rich in the first place. Remember, everybody is starting from an equal account balance, but the stark difference here is if you gave the money to the rich, they'd start looking at supply and demand. They would look at where opportunities are in the market. Where are there lack of resources? Where can they profit? And generally, the poor would start looking at where can we spend the money to buy more luxuries, more food, more TVs, more entertainment, things that they can't necessarily afford. It is a mindset difference. Now, me personally, I have quite a large network of very successful people. And one commonality that I've noticed myself is how wealth runs in the family. Now, you may think that I'm talking about inheritance. No, I'm not talking about inheritance. What I'm talking about is knowledge. Isn't it funny how when somebody becomes rich in a family, the entire family becomes rich, and then 9 times out of 10, when they have kids, their kids then become wealthy and rich, and people call that inheritance. What we call it here at Life Excel is an inheritance of knowledge. The parents or the family members have learned the principles to become successful and become rich. Now they've gone on and taught it to the new generation. So what is the science of getting rich? Is it a roadmap? Are they principles? More importantly, can it be taught, and can you become rich? Well, let's cover it. Now, this is a very profound question. We've tried our very hardest here at Life Excel to answer it. The short answer is, can you be taught to become rich? Yes. Can anybody guarantee it? No. I want you to quickly think back to a time when you required advice. Maybe it was a relationship, maybe it was something to do with fitness, or maybe it was just a general inquiry. Think back to a time. You naturally went into your network of friends and family and you sought out the person that you thought was best equipped to answer your question, right? So if it was on fitness, you'd go to somebody who's a fitness freak, who goes to the gym regularly and eats well. Now, when you take advice of these people, you take it as gospel, right? You take it as, they've achieved it, they've gone through it, and they clearly know what they're talking about because the proof is in the pudding. So let me go away and let me implement that advice. So it is the same thing when it comes to getting rich. You go to people that are super successful and super wealthy and you ask them, what do they do? You take advice off them, you go away and you apply those principles. They have been through the obstacles, they've been through the downfalls, they've been through the peaks and the troughs, they've had the success, and the proof is in the pudding. We found at Life Excel that there are 4 factors that really influence your chances of success. So let's quickly run through them. Firstly, understand that you are a creator. We as humans have the ability to create absolutely anything at any given time. We can create any emotion in us. We can decide whether we want to get angry or whether we want to remain calm. I can go away and build a table if I wish to. That means I am a creator. Now, I'm not saying we are God. We are God's highest form of creation. Everything that exists now existed once in somebody's mind. So you see these windows here, it existed in somebody's mind, somebody created them and somebody's fitted them. So these steel beams that you see, the table, all of these inventions were once non-existent. It was because somebody thought of it and they put it into action and they created something. You get the point, right? The planes in the sky were invented by the Wright brothers in 1903. The light bulb was invented by Thomas Edison in 1879. The very first programmable computer was invented by Charles Babbage in the late 1800s. All of these life-changing devices were brought around because they existed in somebody's mind first and they put it on paper and created it. They spent time researching it, they spent time programming, they spent time going through the failures and trial and testing until they got it right. The great automotive tycoon, which is Henry Ford, once said this: whether you can or you can't, you're right. If you understand at your core that you are a creator, then guess what? You truly can do it. You can create absolutely anything you want. You can create inventions. Like Steve Jobs said, life's very exciting, and once you understand that you can pop something and something pops out the other end and you can change things and mold things and you can create things that other people can use, life becomes exciting. On the other hand, if you are a drifter, somebody that doesn't really care, somebody that just goes along with the flow of life and doesn't really pay attention to what's going on in their mind, then you can't blame anybody at the end of the day when things do not go your way. Everything is a decision. Do you need to lose weight? Well, get on your way to losing weight. Do you need to make more money? Find ways to make more money. Do you need new friends? Find ways to make new friends. As humans, we overcomplicate this notion. It's very simple. It's like baking something or cooking a meal. If something needs changing or altering, you do it as you go along. The same thing applies to your life. There are all principles. The second point is you need to have a destination. Let's take the example of a ship. A cruise ship has thousands of passengers on there, right? Nevertheless, the cruise ship has a plan, it has crew, they know exactly where they're going, where they need to turn, where they don't need to turn, where the rough seas will be, where the smooth seas will be, and what the best path is to arrive on time at the destination safely and with everybody in tow. If the ship ever left the harbour with no destination, it would just be a matter of days before it ran into rough seas or it washed up ashore somewhere as they ran out of resources and everything just went left. Just take a few minutes out of your day every single day and just think about what success looks like. It doesn't have to be millions of pounds or dollars. It doesn't have to be Ferraris and Lamborghinis and yachts and private jets. It could be something much more humbler than this. It could be something where you're just even slightly far ahead than where you were last week. Progression every single day. Remember this, the person that set out to be a school teacher and qualifies and becomes a school teacher is a success. A person that wanted to work for the army, does the grueling training over 2-3 years and qualifies and becomes a part of the army is a success. Don't let anybody tell you that wealth or money or assets or belongings equals success. That's so not true. I've seen people that are multi-millionaires and very unhappy. I've seen people that have very, very minimal money, but yet they're the happiest people on earth. And at the end of the day, you want to go to sleep and wake up happy. Success is different for us all. And the sooner we realize and understand this, the sooner we can all be on our way without comparison. Every successful person that I've met, they have a destination and they have a time frame on it. They will do absolutely anything to overcome any obstacle or failure along the way. Too often, we set ourselves a goal, we get to work on it. After 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 months, the excitement wears off and we just give up and we pack it in. That is the science of going broke. Have a clear image of where you want to be in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and start to put into plan how to achieve it. The third principle is form new habits. Habits form our day-to-day routines. In fact, they play an absolute monstrous role in the grand scheme of our lives. The overall quality and results of your life depend upon the compound effect of daily habits. Think about it. Day by day, you have small habits, but over the period of 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, they compound to be an absolutely big thing. If you have bad habits such as procrastination or negative thinking, then expect your life to be full of incomplete tasks and unhappiness. If your habits are good, such as positive thinking and taking a lot of action, then expect your life to be abundant with happiness and absolutely epic results. Successful people have habits such as getting up early, creating a task list first thing in the morning, networking everywhere they go, remaining positive and taking action throughout the day, paying attention to the small things. They consciously work on getting rid of old bad habits to bring in new good habits, and that's the trick. And the very last principle is thoughts and giving them form. Now, I was taught this by America's greatest prosperity teacher, Bob Proctor, which you may have heard of. I have taken over several years of his coaching, and I've read near enough every book and audiobook that he's ever produced. Think about it. We have thousands of thoughts every day, some positive and some negative. These thoughts can only be given life by our actions and decisions. We give these thoughts what Bob Proctor likes to call it form. Let's take an example. This video that you're listening to now. I had a thought a few weeks ago that I should make a video on what Bob Proctor has taught me, and that's what I'm doing now. I could have easily just let that thought pass, let it go. It entered my mind. I haven't bothered giving it form, and now it's gone. But guess what? I decided to give it form because I wanted to bring the value to my audience. You see, when you start to think like this, you'll be incredibly careful of what thoughts you give form. You'll start to think throughout the day, I've just had a bad thought. I'm not going to give that life or any form. I've just had a good thought. I'll give that some life. I'll give that some form. These little decisions will add up and your day will be that much more better. So these 4 principles, how can you apply the science? Look, your mind is exactly like a computer. From time to time, it needs upgrading, it needs updating with the newest software. Why is it? On our Apple Macs, on our Windows computers, we upgrade them constantly as soon as the new update, because we know the computer or laptop is going to run more efficiently, more smoothly. You'll get more battery life out of it and more storage. Why do we not do that? Your mind is a programming and processing machine. Constantly update it. Remember, you don't have to be great to start. You need to start to be great. Start with a destination in mind. Like I previously said, where do you want to be in 6 months? Where do you want to be in a year? Where do you want to be in 5, in 10? Start with an end in mind, because then you know what you're working towards. It's very simple. Again, humans overcomplicate things. After this video, take time, 10 minutes, take a pen and a pad and write down, in a year's time I want to be this. Maybe you want to advance in your career, maybe you want a different group of friends around you, maybe you want to get your body in shape. Just write down everything you want. Then you have an image of what life should look like. Then we have to break that down and create the tasks in between that will help build towards that life. The second point is cut the fat. Where focus goes, energy flows. As a human being, our mind can only focus on a certain number of things before it gets confused. This is why you have to pay very close attention to what is positively using your energy and what's negatively using your energy. Minimize focusing on things such as gaming, gossiping with your friends, going out every weekend, things that are negative and they don't help push you towards that image that you've just created on that pen and pad. Use your precious energy to learn things like the piano, maybe on YouTube. Go take a walk in a countryside. Do something productive. Believe me, your soul will be nourished beyond belief. It will be nourished 10 times than if you were to game, or you went out on the weekend, or you had a few drinks, or you overate. Start to cut the fat immediately so you can focus on your life's work. Very simple. Lastly, take action. Now, the thing that stops most of us pulling the trigger is just fear. It's a fear of we don't know what's going to happen. It's a fear of the unknown, right? But that's the exciting thing about life. You never know what's going to happen. Why is it that we automatically think of the bad things that are going to happen? Oh, we'll go bankrupt. Oh, we'll fail. Our friends and family will say that was silly and stupid. But what about if it goes the other way? That is the exciting thing. Now listen, look. Your friends and family, never be fearful of them. Why? It is you and you only that wake up with your thoughts and go to sleep with your thoughts. So it's your responsibility for your internal happiness and fulfillment. So what you want to be doing is, as we said before, write down everything on a pen and pad. Put all your thoughts down, create a plan, and just get to work on it. You don't have to tell a million people. Just take action. You never know what's going to happen. Guys, thank you for tuning in to Life Excel. It's Aaron here checking out. Make sure you go check out www.lifeextralarge.com for more absolutely epic content.